thank you all for being here and giving us the opportunity to speak. My name is Doug Rand. I am a former biologist and entrepreneur. Now I think of myself as hopefully a public entrepreneur. Pretty new in the administration. I work at the White House Office of Science and Technology. I've been working it has really felt like startup mode for the last several months to help launch this new White House-led initiative called Startup America, which was launched officially a couple of weeks ago. So let me tell you what Startup America is, what it's not, before we open it up to questions, and what it could be. Startup America is a White House-led initiative, all hands on deck, to dramatically increase the prevalence and success rate of high-growth entrepreneurs across the country. It involves a whole range of federal agencies, and it also involves the private sector, which I'll get to in a second. A couple of things that I want to clarify right off the bat. By Startup America, we're not just talking about tech companies. That's a little shout out to Scott Gerber. We're not just talking about tech hubs. We're talking about companies with potential to grow all in regions across the country. And I should also say, high growth doesn't necessarily mean venture-backed, IPO-bound. The fact of the matter is, it's probably not news to anybody here. The number of entrepreneurs are. Sorry, let me back up. The percentage of the working age population in this country that is starting a company and expects to create 20 jobs within the next 5 years. That's not hypergrowth. That percentage is 1.5%. It's been pretty steady for a long time. Having thousands and thousands of companies creating 20 jobs in 5 years is incredibly valuable. That's where the Kaufman statistics are coming from. It's not just the billion-dollar companies, it's also all the companies creating 20 jobs in 5 years that are the reason that an incredibly disproportionate amount of job creation, net job creation in this country, is coming from young companies. We also know that an incredibly disproportionate amount of innovation is coming from young companies, not just from tech transfer, but service innovation as well. So it's a huge national priority. When we're talking about winning the future, we're talking about out-innovating our competitors, that supporting high-growth potential companies is key to job creation, competitiveness, and innovation. So that's why Startup America is geared towards high-growth companies or high-growth potential companies all across the country. I also want to say that all the policies that we unveiled in the last couple of weeks that involved all of the agencies sitting here and many more. This is just the beginning. You're going to see a pipeline of new policies and new initiatives from throughout the administration to address all of the issues that our moderator talked about. Increasing access to capital for entrepreneurs, increasing access to mentorship, reducing regulatory barriers, and for the tech side, accelerating the transition of innovations from lab to marketplace. Now, real quick, I just want to say, Jonathan from Kaufman Foundation said earlier, it's important to have a strategy, not a plan. And I actually think that the Startup America initiative fits that quite nicely. There is no central plan here. There is no master plan of there shall be this many startups in this region, this many startups in that region. It's a strategy. And the strategy is raise the profile of the importance of entrepreneurs in this country for all the reasons we just talked about. Get all the agencies lined up behind this mission to dramatically increase not only the number of people choosing to become entrepreneurs, but their success rate having started companies around the areas we talked about. And then make a bold call to action, which the President has made several times and will continue to the private sector, to say government cannot possibly do this alone. There are already an enormous number of people in the private sector, I mean that in the broadest sense, foundations, nonprofits, corporations, and universities and community colleges, already developing phenomenally effective models. How do we scale those up? And by we, I'm not talking about government giving money, although that happens. It's really, how can the private sector, acting together, respond to the President's call to action to do more than business as usual, to drive more resources, not taxpayer dollars, but more private sector resources into the models that we know work, so that we're together growing more effective entrepreneurial ecosystems all across the country, at universities, in more regions, and creating more collaborations between corporations and entrepreneurs. And I could go on and on. And hopefully some of the questions that people ask will draw that out. But again, just to hit the high notes again, what the Startup America initiative is all about, and you're going to keep hearing about it because we're going to keep doing events to highlight it all across the country, is two tracks. There's what should the government be doing more or less of, so the policy track, and also the private sector track. So independent of government, acting in parallel, and this is all bully pulpit stuff. what can more organizations like yours do? What can we do to shine a light on what you're doing and help catalyze your ability to do it more effectively? So thanks for your time.